Alrighty, thank you so much. Alright guys, so we are doing some Deadpool for the NES. This is a ROM hack of Ninja Gaiden that actually just came out last year. And I'm going to be playing it on the Mercy difficulty. This is the easier difficulty. There's two, Mercy and Merc. Merc is quite tough, but Mercy allows for some more damage boosts and things like that. So we're going to do Mercy, and time doesn't start until you gain control, so I'm going to actually jump into the game here. And mostly because we need to spend just a couple seconds jamming out to this song. Yeah. Music in this game is absolutely fantastic, and this is one of my favorites. So we'll get ready for the countdown right here. I'll drop my game volume back down. Alright. Hotkeys are all set. We're good. Alright, so time is going to start in 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright, so this game's awesome. There's a whole lot of love put into it. There's a lot of fun stuff. It plays really, really well. It's obviously built on the Ninja Gaiden engine, so a lot of similarities to Ninja Gaiden. And as you can see already, lots of fun cameos from different characters. We've seen Batman and Wolverine already. We'll see the Flash. Oh, Batman didn't cooperate there. There we go. All kinds of different enemies, and then also lots of bosses from all throughout the Marvel and obviously specifically Deadpool comics and universe and everything. Because it plays similar to Ninja Gaiden but has this Deadpool twist, we've got things like you just saw, power-ups called, that's the Meat Shield, and it takes the place of the Fire Shield in Ninja Gaiden. And let's just run through everything. So, this is, here's our first boss, T-Ray. Not a very popular boss in the Marvel Universe, but does show up in the Deadpool comics, and we just melt him down with rockets. And that's going to be kind of the theme of all of these stages, is making sure that I have enough ammo so that I can melt the bosses. There's going to be a few different ways that we do that. Oh boy. There's actually a really good story. They made full cutscenes between every stage and everything, but of course this is a speedrun, so we're going to skip all of that. I highly recommend everybody play this game if you enjoy Ninja Gaiden or Deadpool, because they're a lot of fun. And the story is actually really good. It's tons of fun. But we won't worry too much about that. I'll just kind of introduce them real quick. Get there. So we're in the labs here, and I just picked up a power-up to stop time, and so that's pretty huge. And there's lots of places where we'll find those. Really, the speedrun for this is all about efficient movement. Much like Ninja Gaiden, you have to do a lot of the jump slashes like we just saw there, so that you don't have to stop moving to slash. And then effective use of your sub-weapons. We've got a bunch of different sub-weapons. So like my pistol right here, I'm going to use a lot just because it uses less ammo. And then it's just really all about making sure that you collect the right pickups. So there's a lot of specific pickups that I really need to get for the right timing. That room right there is really tight, actually. Jump over the ceiling. Making it in there. I think I died there like twice on the last marathon I did, so I'm glad I'm through that. This government base stage in general is kind of the first part of the game where you go like, oh hey, this is actually a pretty tough game, because there's suddenly a lot of bottomless pits. So we're going to get a speed boost and then the meat shield, and this is really important. Big shout out to Johnny Link. He's the world record holder in the Merc category, and right behind me in Mercy. And he found that if you have your movement just right, you can carry this meat shield all the way to this boss and kill them immediately. So that's the quick kill for that boss. Really glad I got that. It's pretty tight. Alright, so yeah, those were the mutants. That's not a particularly well-known boss. Now we're into this little rainy area, and this is the first time you see the worst enemy in the game. I call them Wizrobes. I don't know if that's their actual name, but they remind me of the Wizrobes in Zelda, and for me, Messenger. They're really, really annoying. So I'm just going to freeze time so that we don't have to deal with them for a minute. Run over here, and we're going to run out of time freeze right now. Back to a little bit of careful platforming. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. That's a pretty good place to die as well. Alright. This stage is also going to utilize some speed boost right there. I think it's like Red Bull or something that I'm picking up. Not really sure. And then we're also gonna need to get a meat shield up here so that we can keep running fast. There's our meat shield. Now we're just gonna jump through everybody. This is a very treacherous section if you're playing it normally because, again, it's a Ninja Gaiden game, so the knockback and everything is just like Ninja Gaiden. God. Okay, we're good. Alright, and we're gonna get into the boss, and this is the Red Hulk. And, like with all of the other bosses, we're gonna try and melt them down as quickly as possible, so pull out the rocket launcher, go to town, and we're done. Hard to play cutscene. Sorry, can't see any story. This stage is really tough. This is the Weapon X stage. As you can see, I've got a new outfit. In the story, Deadpool gets kind of conscripted to help out bad folks, and so this is our kind of mercenary Weapon X outfit. We will see a few different, kind of cool. In this stage, the water. Oh, let's see. No, I didn't quite get it. The water doesn't kill you, luckily, but it does slow you down a lot. So I try and stay at the top of the screen, and I do some of those little jumps over the top. That's something that we've found pretty early in this game, that you can kind of jump through walls by going over top of the screen. So try and do that. There, I just missed the very last one, so it wasn't too bad. And this guy controlled me. Okay, he did. That's nice. And now we got my favorite Marvel enemy, Taskmaster. Oh, and he gave me the shield, so lost a little time there. But since we saved that machine gun from earlier in the stage, I can just run through and melt him pretty quick. The developers actually, you might have noticed, he started with about a half a health bar. They changed him because he was just too hard. All the playtesters for this game were dying on Taskmaster, so they couldn't figure out how to balance him well, so they just took his health bar down to half. And if you carry the machine gun, then he's a pretty tough boss if you. So, alright, we're in the caverns here. This is a tough section just because you guys can probably tell you can kind of barely see the ground when the light is dim there. So luckily I've just played the game a ton, but just keep kind of running through there. And here's another one I can try and go. Nope, didn't get it. I can try and get to the transition by going over the top, but that's a pretty tough one. We got the meat shield in the last stage, and so you just kind of keep carrying it around. We're now in an asylum, and so our story here is actually involving the Infinity Gauntlet. So Deadpool kind of stumbled. Whoa, that was close. Kind of stumbled upon the Infinity Gauntlet. Without knowing what it is or anything, and then Carnage, like Spider-Man Carnage, stole it. And so right now we're tracking down Carnage. He is in this asylum. Another little speed boost, and now I just gotta... Oh, yeah, so I gotta jump over these things, but they don't quite appear in time, because NES game. You gotta know where they are ahead of time. And here's Carnage. Carnage is also a pretty tough fight normally, but if you save up all your ammo and just rocket launch him down, drops pretty quick. Okay, so we're kind of getting to the back half of the game, and in the Deadpool universe, and actually kind of starting off this game, Deadpool is in love with death, if you haven't read much Deadpool stuff. And so after fighting Carnage there, we kind of see Death, and Deadpool of course wants to get with her, but she betrays us and sends us to Limbo. So we're in like this weird kind of like purgatory stage, and it's got awesome music and this really weird aesthetic. I kind of love this stage. But now we're kind of in the full-on Deadpool's Revenge Tour thing, so our next boss is going to be Ajax, which you might from like the first Deadpool movie, and then we are gonna have to encounter our boy Thanos, and we're gonna have to address our marital strife with death. Oh, and I do have a new outfit now. Got like the ultimate X-Men outfit or something like that. Lots of cool outfits. They tried to really just pack this game full of like every reference and Alright, and of course you gotta have an ice level. Ice physics are always a granted. Again, luckily we've kind of figured out some little tricks to make this easier. This is one of my favorites. We're gonna do a little D-boost off the flash. There we go. And then he gets us up to that top section, which lets us skip all those little guys on the stairs. Alright, so this is Ajax's workshop. Getting closer and closer to, like I said, kind of our Deadpool's revenge tour. And now we got these conveyor belts, which are a pretty cool mechanic, but get a little tricky in the game. Make sure, yeah. Sometimes, because a lot of the drops here just kind of rely on random drops, sometimes you can get very good there. Oh, I didn't mention, but my plan was to donate $1 for every minute the run takes me. I'm really hoping that I can get under 20, that's my goal. And then $5 for every death. And I haven't had any deaths yet. So I think I'm also just gonna do, if I get a deathless run, an extra 20 bucks on top of it. So ideally, I want under 20 minutes and no deaths. Okay, so that was Ajax. Again, rockets, take up and down. And now we're at the gate, and we are tracking down Thanos. And so, again, we kind of got the Infinity Gauntlet thing going on here. This stage has this cool wind mechanic, but that also makes it very difficult. So I'm going to have to wait there for the wind anyway, so I'm going to run down and grab the meat shield. You don't really need the meat shield here, but since I have to wait for the wind anyway, I figured why not. And now I got this little area. We got a bunch of these whiz robes throwing down lightning. It could be really trolly. Okay, they did not troll me, which is amazing. That stage is where most of my deaths come from. So I'm really glad we made it through there. We're getting closer. Getting closer and closer to Daddy Thanos. I haven't really mentioned, I've talked about the rocket launcher, but there are several sub-weapons. They're pretty much all, they're pretty much all great, especially casually. The only one that I'm not going to use in the run is the teleport. So the teleport ability is really useful casually. Oh, hey, I got the transition there. Really useful casually, but it's slow. So you just teleport over and just hit a guy and then go back to your position. It's really good for avoiding damage. It's really good for killing guys in awkward places, but it's slow. So, so we're not going to use it here. Oh man, I didn't get the upgrade up there. Oh well. Oh shoot, there's my first death. Alright. Thought I might just jumped awkwardly. But yeah, so we've got a little gun, we got the rockets, and then we have the spin slash. And so just like with Ninja Gaiden, spin slash is your friend. It's pretty great, but it's also a really good way to lose a bunch of ammo. So you gotta be a little bit careful with it. So you'll kind of see me switching between weapons fairly often. That guy chases me down, always scares me. So this is Thanos' lair. We're very close. Got all these background stuff. I think the art in the game's great. The team that worked on this, Tech Moon, I think spent about 8 years kind of in their off time. Whoa, that was exciting. Okay, we're gonna bottom away, no big deal. Working on this game, real passion project, and I think it shows. A lot of love put into this game will kind of be good. It's really, and it's totally free, of course. So if you want to play it, search in the old Google machine Deadpool NES, and you'll find the ROM. we are right outside of Thanos' lair. I gotta get the speed boost, and there we go. And I'm in not great shape for ammo, so I'm gonna blow through Thanos. That was step one. But I also have a bit of a bone to pick with Lady Death, and so though it hurts me to do so, I'm gonna fight her. And so this is where I need tons and tons of ammo, because I'll go Death and then or Thanos and then Death, and then we've got in a very Ninja Gaiden manner Mephisto, which looks a whole lot like our little shrimp at the end of Ninja Gaiden. And since I ran out of ammo, I just gotta slash him down, and it takes a long time. So this is a chunk of time because not having ammo, but not the end of the world. We got through it.
While you're slashing them down, do you have some time for some donations?
For sure, yeah.
Perfect. So we had a $20 donation, $20.20 donation from Brass Wolf. Way to go, putting on a fabulous event. Hope you were able to find some chimichangas during the pitfall run for Deadpool. Have a great time, runners. Awoo! And then Pure Retro CO donated $15. MrOtter8 hype.
Aw, thanks. Actually, Brass, me, Pure Retro Colorado, all Colorado guys. The Colorado speed scene is live. And yeah, so we're chasing down Dr. Doom now, and this stage is quite dastardly stage. And we've seen these enemies before, but we see a whole lot of them now, these little Mac enemies. And I'm gonna use one in a little bit for a pretty important boost, but if they punch you, if you don't hit them first, they knock you like all the way across the screen. And so that's gonna be useful for me just a little bit, but right now they just scare me. Jump. And something you don't see in the speedrun here, but does exist, is all of these platforms actually will disappear if you stand on them for very long. Here's the boost. Hey, he was nice. So you really need to keep moving even casual. That little boost saves about 10 seconds, because otherwise you're supposed to kind of walk forward, jump back, and then kind of climb up those steps. I also got a machine gun, and I carried it and spent as few bullets as I could to get to this point so that we can get old Doomy here. Didn't quite have enough ammo from the machine gun, so I'll finish them off with rockets. And there we go. We're getting very close to the end of the run. If anyone's curious, I'm not quite a minute behind my PB of 1809, so we're looking good for sub 20, as long as we don't have any major mistakes here. So I won't quite reveal who the boss of this stage is yet, but I will tell you, the developers very purposely made this a pretty short stage. Oh, I don't know what upgrade I just got. Okay, it wasn't quite what I wanted. Actually, pretty good. They made it a short stage, and they only put a few drops in, so the best times that I can get in this stage really do rely on lucky drops from enemies, so I try and kind of kill as many of them as I can, just in case. I didn't get the best drop, which is a sword upgrade, but that's really, really rare. But I did get a bunch of ammo, which is not a drop, and so I'm going to be able to rocket launch him down, which I normally can't do. So that's pretty awesome. That's going to save a good bit of time. Cool. Alright, so we're down to the very last stage, and of course, it's an auto-scroller. This is just pure... so we end with an auto-scroller, and not only is it an auto-scroller, but it's actually a pretty difficult auto-scroller. Really easy to die. So this is just extremely nerve-wracking, especially when you're on PB pace, and you're just trying to like not go too fast, so you're at the far left edge of the screen, but if you go too slow, then the back edge of the screen will crush you. So it ends up being pretty scary. Again, if you play this casually, the teleport is your friend, but... well, so do it. But yeah, the damage boost and things on these little platforms is scary. I got a speed upgrade there, but again, auto-scroller, so it doesn't really help much. And the jump's a little less tight. Alright, and pretty much made it through the scariest part, so I think we're gonna be okay. Now I just gotta kinda come here and try and kill these guys and get to the edge as quickly as possible. Once I lose control, there we go, that is time. So on my timer I got a 1904, I think. I don't know if that's exactly the same as what we got here, but yeah, that's the entire game. It's a lot of fun. Just like in Ninja Gaiden, we got the whole castle droid kind of thing. And I want to hang out for just a second so that you can catch the other great song besides X Gonna Give It To You. There's another one at the end of the credits here. But while I'm doing that, I just want to say huge shout out to Tech Moon, the guys that made this game, Twin Omega, the one that kind of introduced me to it, Johnny Link, one of the other major runners here, and oh yeah, a little bit of time there. And who was I? Oh, and Danger X, who put a lot of hard work into developing this game. And then, of course, Streiser and Colt and Azuma and all the guys putting in lots of work for this amazing marathon. It's been super fun. Watched a lot of it, and I am excited for the rest. Give me just a second so we can catch this last song. Oh, and we also can get the resolution to the story. Infinity Gauntlet. Wade doesn't care about it. All about that. Apologies for language. Some references to the movies there. Ryan Reynolds just tosses the Infinity Gem. Okay, here's the song. You, the George Michael. Amazing music, great composition all throughout. It's good stuff. All right, that's all I got. Thanks again, guys. I love you all. Have a great weekend.